Alright, guys, it's Friday. I cannot wait to get out of here. But we're going to do some more adding and subtracting mixed numbers today. And then we'll be done and we'll have a long weekend because we have Monday off. So, the first thing we need to do is make sure we update our table of contents and our math notebooks. After we've updated our table of contents and our math notebooks, we need to go ahead and write down our lesson number, which is 10-5. Our title, more adding and subtracting mixed numbers, and then our central question, how can adding and subtracting mixed numbers help you solve problems? You have learned so far. You guys have learned several different strategies that are useful for adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Today you will use these skills to solve problems. What kind of real-world problems have you solved by adding and subtracting mixed numbers? Now think about that. One of my favorite examples to use for when you will use mixed numbers or when you will need fractions is for cooking. Because I like to eat, everybody likes to eat. But almost every recipe uses fractions. So sometimes we have to scale up a recipe, which means we have to make a recipe for more people than the original recipe was intended for. So we have to duplicate it or double it. Sometimes we have to cut the recipe in half because we have less people than the original recipe was intended for. Or maybe we're in a garden, or we're feeding plants, or we're measuring golf balls. Okay, like the example we had the other day. So if you guys need to go ahead and pause right now, we can do that so you can catch up on your notes. And then just go ahead and start the video when you're ready. So I'm going to do two examples today. The first one's going to be a subtracting of mixed numbers, and that's going to come from number 11 on page 240. And it's going to be 12 and 1/4 minus 9 and 3/5. Okay? First thing I need to do is I need to find the equivalent fraction. So I need to find the least common multiple of 4 and 5. So I could do 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Oh, 20 is a multiple of 5. Let's verify that. 5, 10, 15, 20. Circle those, and then let's give myself some more room to work. Let's do 20 and then 20. So what I need to do is 4 goes into 20 5 times. So 1 times 5 is 5. 5 goes into 20 4 times. So 3 times 4 is 12. Then I need to bring over my whole number, 12 and 9. Excuse me. Now, I can't take 12 away from 5. I can't take 12 20ths from 5 20ths. So I need to borrow from my whole number and rename that. So that becomes 11. Now, in the process when I do that, I need to add that whole, which would be 20 20ths. Because 1 in this problem equals 20 over 20. Okay? So a simple way to do that is if I cross out my numerator, because that's what I'm going to add to, and I add my denominator to my numerator, because I have a whole. I have 20s. I have 20, 20, so 20 plus 5 would give me 25. And that's a simple shortcut. So now I need to do is 25 minus 12 is 13 over 20. And then I need to do 11 minus 9. And that would give me 2. Guys, it's very important that we give ourselves room to work with. And it's very important that we cross stuff out when we're no longer using it or when we rename something. Okay? It goes all the way back to the step of when we found the least common multiple and we write times 5, times 4, because I've checked your work and sometimes you guys skip a step. So take your time and write it out. Second thing, pay attention to the sign of the problem. Okay? The next example I'm going to use is number 20 from our book. And number 20 is originally written like this. 2 5/8 plus 2 1/2 parentheses minus 4 2/3. Okay? So this would be example number 1. And then this would be example number 2. So the first thing I have to do is I have to rewrite this problem. And the way I would rewrite this problem is I need to rewrite it in the long form, in the column form. So I'm going to do 2 5/8 plus 2 1/2. And the reason I'm doing this first is because it's in parentheses, and that's what we do first. So I know that 8 and 2 have the least common multiple of 8. So this is going to be 8. This is going to be 8. And then I'm going to bring my 2 over. And then my 5 over. Because it's the same problem. And then 2 goes in 8 4 times. So 1 times 4 is 4. And then bring my 2 over. So I need to add this together. So 5/8 plus 4/8 is 9/8. 2 plus 2 is 4. And I need to slide that up. And I'm going to leave that together for now. I'm not going to simplify that yet. So then I need to do the second half of the problem. So I'm going to come over here. And you guys can go straight off of here. But I'm going to start my column over here. I'm going to do 4 9/8 minus 4 2/3. Because remember, this answers for the parentheses. Then I need to subtract 4 2/3. If you need to, find the least common multiple of 8 and 3. I know it's 24. Three goes into 24 8 times, so 2 times 8, 16. 8 goes into 24 3 times. 9 times 3, 27. And then I need to bring over my whole numbers. The reason I didn't simplify here is because I wanted to make sure I had a large enough number to subtract from so I didn't have to rename. So I'm going to wait to the end of the problem to simplify most times. So 27 minus 16 is 9. 24ths. 4 minus 4 is 0. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 11. 27 minus 16 is 11. 4 minus 4 is 0. So my final answer would be 11 24ths. Now remember, we do what is in the parentheses first. Then we subtract or add whatever. But we have to pay attention to the operation signs. So if you guys need to pause here to catch up on your notes, go ahead and do that. What I would like you guys to do for guided practice on page 240. So I'd like you guys to do 1 through 9 odd. And then for independent practice, I would like you guys to do page 240 and 241. And I would like you guys to do number 23 to 32. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Let's try to get all our work done. On top of this, you need to do your 10-4 quick check today, and your math rights need to be finished. You had all day yesterday to work on that too. So there's no reason that we can't get well into this lesson today. All right, guys. Have a great day. Let me know how the video was.